We start sharing. Yeah, sorry. Okay. So the whole idea of this presentation is during this pandemic, I think all the universities across globally, they all went for borderless learning approach. So since it is already more than 6 months of time, we are all practicing this contactless learning or maybe remote learning. We call it as borderless learning. So I started thinking of moving forward the assessment as a borderless assessment, how we can bring the industry panels from the academicians, well-known academicians in overseas, bring to our learning space and create a bit of extended learning experience to our students. That's why we are here today. Thank you so much to all the panel members for accepting our invitation in a short notice. Yes, I think the very quick one for the students. Students who are not presenting. Okay, that means the presenter group, of course, you have to open your cameras. The other group members, probably if you want to make sure all your mic is muted so that the presentation goes in a smooth phase without any disruptions. Yes, during your own group presentation, open your cameras, you can pay attention. And of course, Q&A session is there. I think after every group presentation, we will have a Q&A session. And even at the end of the time, we will give some time for you to talk to the industry panels. We have 2 different people today. So kindly allow me to introduce the panel members today. Let me start with Mr. Bobby. Thank you so much, sir, for accepting our invitation. So Mr. Bobby Harrigon is a Vice President. He's a Vice President of, I think many positions he's holding, Vice President and General Manager of HSAI, Raintree Group of Properties. And he's a CEO of Aquos Management Includes. And he's also a Vice President for Hotels. HRAP, it's a Hotel and Restaurant Association of Philippines. And yes, he's a person with a very good experience. Okay, so I think it's a very privilege for us to have persons like him on today's session. And he is a graduate from one of the prestigious institutions, Lis Roche School of Hotel Management in Switzerland. And he's also worked with a lot of dignitaries in the countries as well as in head of states and Hollywood personalities. And he's also worked, I think, attached with Cornell University for an year as a Ivy League institution, which we all know, Cornell University. He started his career, just now you were sharing in the, before we start, with the Hyatt pre-opening team in Hong Kong, which is the first 6-star hotel in the whole. And he was awarded so many awards. I think when I saw his profile, it was very long to complete today. Probably it will take almost like 20 to 30 minutes. Probably I put it in a very nutshell. He's honored in the new, he's also contributed to the lot of academician world, and also his passion and excellence, always contributing to the industry as well as to the academic world to bring a lot of new workforce skills. Yes, he has worked with many organizations, and he's also an, quite recognized by the Association of Human Resource Management of the hotel and restaurant industry because of his contribution, because of his knowledge expertise. He's also a president, as we told, and just now he mentioned not 12, I think he's managing more than 12 now. He's managing more than, I think 14 or 15, sir, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's very good to have his experience today to share with our people. And he's also a well-known keynote speaker, consultant, and advisory member for many universities in Philippines and also in abroad. His expertise in managing hotel properties, restaurant business. He was mentioning he was running a restaurant business in Malaysia for 2 decades. And recently he has been handed over to his partner because he's totally engaged in Philippines with expanding his business. And also he's a management consultant. So on behalf of School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events of Taylor's University, we welcome you for today's session, sir.
Thank you very much, Dr. Kandalpan. Thank you.
Yeah, can I have the students to give a virtual clap to yeah.
Do I do my 5 minutes now, or shall I wait for later on?
That's also good. Probably we can go like this. Yeah, why not? You can start. So I can go according to the speaker also.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
if
Yeah.
everybody doesn't mind, I'll put my 30 years of experience, and my father was a hotelier as well, so pretty much my whole life. I'll put it all in 5 minutes. If everyone can just listen to certain steps and tips of how to be successful. First, thank you, Dr. Kandapan, for inviting me. It's an honor and privilege, and my fellow panelists who are seasoned hoteliers and people in the academe. So very, very honored to be a part of this session this morning. For Taylor's University, I just like to tell everyone who's doing this MBA course that you're very lucky to be doing this, because there's a lot of people out there that do not, a lot of successful hoteliers out there who hasn't even have a college degree or an MBA. So what more you all have MBAs. So what I can tell you right now is each and every one of you, God willing, each and every one of you are going to be GMs, the next GMs, the next presidents, and the next CEOs. Trust me. And I've seen it before, and I've seen it in my own eyes. So believe you me, all of you will be very, very successful. And you know, I just want to let you know, I've seen a lot of successful people in my career and firsthand, meeting all of these people from Kurt Vital of Mandarin, from Adrian Zeka of Aman Group, Hokwen Ping of Banyan, and Hort Schulze of Ritz-Carlton. All these people, you know what they have in common? What they have in common is they all work hard, and they have the passion of serving, because this industry, the hospitality industry, tourism, is all about serving and being with people. So you all have to remember, it's that famous line where people will not remember what you tell them, people will not remember what you do for them, but people will always remember how you make them feel. So when you make them feel like kings and queens and princesses and royalty, they will always remember that. And if you speak to Adrian Zeka, they'll always say, it's all about taking care of your customers and your guests. So I'll tell you a few things of how to be very successful very quickly. I know I have maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Number one is passion with grit. I say passion with grit because some people have passion, but after 1 year, they fall out of passion for the hotel business, or they fall out of passion with their wives and husbands and their partners. You have to have passion with grit. Grit means sustainable passion. So passion with grit. Number two, humility. I don't care how successful you are. I always joke, when I was a general manager for many years, people go, you're a general manager. I go, no, I'm the GM, the general messenger of all these rich Chinese taipans. And, you know, I'm not a general manager. I'm just a general messenger. So number two is humility. Number three is hard work. I told you, all of these people I mentioned earlier, they work hard. They work on Saturdays, Sundays, on holidays. They work until midnight. They wake up at 5 a.m. in the morning. It's all about hard work. And there's that saying, I don't know if you like basketball, there's this person called Kevin Durant, a basketball player. He always says, hard work beats talent when talent fails to work hard. So sometimes you can be the smartest person out there. You can be summa cum laude, the smartest person. But if you don't want to work hard, I don't know if you will become successful. So remember hard work. Number four is integrity. It's your name out there. Always protect your name. Our industry is very, very small. So integrity. Number five is always have a positive attitude. Everything is positivity, never negative. And number six is always a yes attitude. I always tell this to all my employees, thousands of them in all the hotels around the Philippines. It's everything is a yes in whatever we do, because we're in hospitality. The only no I want to hear is no problem. It's when you're having a hard time, no problem, sir. We can do it. It's a challenge, but it's a yes. So it's a yes attitude. Of course, brains, always attending courses, always trying to put something up here, because a smarter person is always better. So brains. And then the last for me is to God be the glory. He can make or break your career and your life. And I always believe that God will make it happen. And so to be a successful general manager, president, and CEO, what I see from very successful people, the three things that you need is you need to be an entertainer, you need to be a general, you have to be very strict, you have to be an entertainer and enjoy life and know how to bring your staff out, and then you have to be a big brother. You always have to listen to them. And those three things I've seen in my career, that's what will make you very successful. So I wish you all the best today. All your ideas, remember, are always good. All ideas are good. No ideas, then we have an issue if there's no ideas. But you guys today will have issues. We'll have ideas, and there will all be great ideas. So I'm looking forward to this session this morning. Thank you very much, Dr. Kandapan.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Very short and crisp with a very clear indicators you mentioned. Thank you so much. And also I would like to thank here Prof. Christina for introducing me and connecting me to this great personality, Mr. Bobby. Thank you, Prof. Christina. Let me go to the next speaker. We have another okay, there is, sorry, I think there is a picture change. Give me a moment, the profile picture changed. I don't know why. Give me a moment. Sorry. Okay, so we have our next speaker, Dr. Dino. So he's a highly motivated hospitality profession who has a passion for the hospitality industry, and he's also a certified hotel administration, CHA, and also he has done a lot of certifications, which I just listed few here, and he also holds his doctorate in financial management, and also he has his master's in law and master's degree in finance. So he's basically more on a person with a finance background and revenue management. He worked with many hotels, starting from Marriott and a lot of well-known properties in Indonesia, like Arizona Hotel, Swiss Bell Aragon, and we have Swiss Bell Ben Hondok Inda and Best Western. And he also worked with some properties like well-known properties like Holiday Inn, Park Lane Hotels, and also Sheraton and Radisson Group of Hotels. He has more than, I can say, more than 20 years of experience. And it's good to have someone like him, Dr. Daniel. Thank you so much for accepting our invitation on behalf of our School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor's University. I would like to thank you. And he is also worked as an academician before. And also is actively participating in research and publications. And he's also quite well known for keynote speech since 2015. And he's also advisory member for higher education in Indonesia. His expertise is basically strategic management, finance, revenue, and pre-opening. He worked with a lot of pre-opening projects. So we welcome you on stage, sir. Would you like to share a few words to our students? And I would like to thank Prof. Harif for introducing me to Dr. Dino. Thank you so much, Prof.
Thank you, Mr. Kandapan. Good morning, all. As Bobby mentioned before, that in the hospitality we have to maintain or to sustain our patient in the hospitality. So all that Bobby mentioned is right, that currently we have a pandemic situation. So our leadership quality depends on us how to manage everything with running smoothly. On the other side, we have the problem with the cash flow and everything, but we have to make sure that all the associate or staff can work together to facing this tough time. And I'm sure that you can learn from all of us here, all the students, Luckily, all of you has many, some of the practitioner from the industry and also the academician. I think it will be bringing the open mind to your next future career. I think that's all, Mr. Kandapan.
Thank you, sir, for giving a very short and crisp. Let me open the screen to introduce the next speaker. So we have our next speaker, who's also an academician, but he started his career from hotel industry. So we have Prof. Dr. Arif Zulkarnain. He's also MM and SHTE, Certified Hospitality Educator. So on behalf of School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor's University, I welcome you, sir. And also I thank you for accepting our invitation and also connecting me to the industry, so industry experts in Indonesia. Dr. Arif, yes, professor as a highly motivated hospitality educator with more than 20 over years of experience from industry, with a strong passion for culinary and hospitality industry. And as I told you, he's a SHTE holder, and also he did his doctorate in service management and a master's in law and another master's in finance management, and is a bachelor degree from accounting and finance management from Trishiki Tourism Academy. He also worked with many groups in Indonesia as well as in overseas, like Malavati by Astone as a GM and hotel manager. So he worked with various positions in the hotel during his 20 over of experience, from the bottom line to the top line, which is a hotel manager and general manager position. And one of his projects is like Hotel Discovery Hotel, Medoc Energy, then Dijo Art and Curie, and Hotel Borobudur and International Property, Intercontinental, like those days we call IHG Properties. And also he worked in France and also Hilton Group of Hotels. He's also a facilitator for IHG MA during his working time with the industry. And he's also actively participated in a lot of interactions and community development projects, and also is active in publishing and publications and also research related activities. And he's also an advisory member to the higher education in Indonesia and many government bodies, and also working in various projects which is benefiting the whole community of Indonesia. His expertise in the culinary and strategic management, culinary based and revenue management, pre-opening projects he worked, and also he is a good team player. So without further ado, I welcome Dr. Arif to say a few words to our students.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Candy. I just mentioned Dr. Candy. Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Prof. Christina, from Chairwoman the Tourism Industry Board, Philippines. Good morning, Bobby from Philippines, and also Pak Dino and all of the students. This is an honor for me to be a panelist member of the Taylor University master degree in hotel, hospitality, tourism, and events. So I'm very happy and also amazed that we have Dr. Candy here. I'm sure for the future, we will do more collaborations, even more in field of student exchange between BINUS and to Malaysia and Philippines, and also lecture exchange, or we did like this, Zoom, and also research, international and also international grant. So this morning also I spoke to my vice rector regarding this project, and also the chairman of association, higher association, hospitality education in Indonesia. Maybe one day we will invite Prof. Tina from Philippines and also Bobby to become of this. We will do the panelist member in our university. Okay, success for all students and the international hospitality master program. Thank you, Dr. Kandi.
Thank you, Prof. Thanks for a quick introduction and giving few words and the future plans. And so we have our last speaker today, one of my famous and also well-known academician, and also working a lot with her, Professor Christina, who is a chairwoman for the Tourism Industry Board Foundation, recently. I think it was after August since. And she's a member and secretary for the ICE. The ICE stands for the Tourism and Hospitality Educators. It's a body formed from the Australian group of well-known industry members, and it becomes a recognition body to give recognition to the higher education of hospitality and tourism institutions in Asia Pacific. And she's also a board member of HTRAP, the Hotel and Resort Association of Philippines. So on behalf of School of Hospitality, Tourism and Events, Taylor's University, I welcome you, Prof. Christina, and also thank you for accepting my invitation. And yes, I think her previous tenure was with the LPU, Liaison of the Philippines University. She worked almost like 15 over years with various positions. When she moved from there, as the last position was Executive Director for Linkage and Standards of Lyceum of the Philippines University, Manila. To be honest, her profile is very, very big, long, because she always very dynamic. I think she has more than like 30 to 40 years of experience, academic and working in industries and others. And she has contributed a lot to Philippines education community, holding various positions in various associations, like the current one, TIFI and HRAF, and also like a technical committee for hospitality and tourism, and TESTA, specialized in tourism sector, and so many titles. I think we need a lot of time to go through her. Yeah, Prof, as always, to be honest, I met her 2 years back in Bangkok, one of the conference. From there, we built our collaborations. From there, constantly, we are in having some joint collaborations. She's also an author for various books, journal articles, and she's always an invited speaker in many countries, especially in Asia Pacific. She's well known. And yes, she's a Master's of Arts in Education, and she's a pedagogical expert and PhD in Education too, specializing in curriculum studies. And she's also a CHE, Certified Hospitality Educator, and CGSP. I think she need maybe a 1 page of all the certificates. Yeah. So without further ado, I will allow Prof. Christina to give some word of wisdom to my students. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, Dr. Kandi. It's very nice to be part again of this the alternate opportunity now that we are able to touch base with many students, not only in the Philippines, but in the country, in other countries as well. I always go back to this particular saying, it takes a village to raise a child. So initially, for many of your students, most probably, the village was just simply Taylor's University. But right now, we've noted that with the pandemic, the village is actually more than just Taylor's University, because now we've seen that you can bring in many people from outside of the village, from the Philippines, from Indonesia, from other parts of the world who have a lot of wealth of experience. So I'd like to say that the silver lining in the pandemic is that it has broadened, it has made you more global students than ever before as compared to when you were in Taylor's University. I'd like to touch base on sharing of my 5 cents worth. I go with the word COVID. COVID is such a it brings us to many challenges with treatment of COVID, but I'd like to use a positive word, use it positively as an acronym for a lot of things that we have to be right now, especially in the pandemic. C is commitment. We've got to make sure that the passion, the commitment for tourism and hospitality, especially in the work and industry that we have, will actually be showcase while you are as a student. You have to get as much information from the speakers, from your teachers, and use it later on when you become members of the industry. O would be optimism. I know that the transition now from your face-to-face instruction to now to remote or online instruction is such a challenge for you, but that's part really of any life of anyone who is in the hotel. You cannot stay put in how you're doing. You've got to make sure that you're always constantly evolving, constantly changing with what's needed by your customers. V is you've got to be versatile. Just because you're doing F&B now doesn't mean that you forever stay in F&B. There are other sectors. I've heard a lot of people now in this time of COVID that you forget about doing just your task because now you're doing multi-skilling. You'll be doing multitask. You've got to make sure that you do a little of housekeeping, a little of front office, a little of F&B service, etc. And so this is the time for us to actually train ourselves that we cannot be focused only on one job. I is to inspire people. Do not be a carrier of negative thoughts because these negative thoughts will not bring you anywhere, but you've got to inspire people. You've got to help them. You've got to support your friends, your classmates, maybe provide inspiration to people who are having some challenges right now and help them out traverse this very challenging time that you have. D is be dynamic. You've got to be, especially now that we have a very sedentary lifestyle, maybe you're in front of the computer for quite a number of hours a day, but you've got to also exercise, also touch base with friends who are out there, maybe in other countries as well. You've got to be more alive than ever because this is the way that it will be for most part of our lives right now, especially as Bobby mentioned, that the vaccine will take maybe another year for us to develop. And so we've got to make sure that wherever we are, we've got to be dynamic enough to touch base with a lot of people. So I leave you with those 5 words: COVID, commitment, optimism, versatility, be an inspiration, and dynamism is something that you've got to be translating the word to something that's negative to something that is positive. And I look forward to the presentations of the various groups today. Let's see if there's going to be more learning that you'll get from the various speakers or from the panel of jury members that you have here. So thank you very much. I'll see you in a while.
Thank you, Prof. Prof always comes with some abbreviation. That is, either she will create the acronym and she will come with a very nice abbreviation. Since I met her from 2018, always I can say ending part is with some abbreviation for the words. Thank you so much. It's a very good advice. So without further ado, thank you so much for all the panel members. You have given a very good piece of advices and also set the stage. So let me start with the first session. So I'm going to call the Cloche Inn Hotel to start their presentation. Are you ready? The Cloche Inn Hotel. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, we're ready.
Yeah. So make sure the presenters' videos all on. So when you are speaking, you keep your audio unmute. Otherwise, you keep it muted. Thank you.
Okay, good morning to Dr. Kandapan, Dr. Dino Leonandri, our panel member, Dr. Arif Zulkarnain, Mr. Bobby Horrigan, and Professor Christina Aquino. Thank you for coming. On behalf of the class, myself and the class itself, we appreciate your arrival here today morning to be a panel member for all of us. I will be talking together with my teammates, Mr. Nick Daniel, Ms. Amna, Ms. Vanika, Ms. Xiaopun Lee, Jessie, and myself, Richard, on how the F&B industry will behave react post-pandemic. Next slide, please. Now, in this presentation, we will be talking about how before the pandemic the F&B industry was. And then during COVID-19 and the lockdown, how and challenges and what we went through. Post COVID-19, what are the things that's happening in terms of new normal and some suggestions that we think will work post pandemic and to go through these challenges as well. Of course, in terms of before COVID-19 pandemic, even to my experience as well, my morning rituals would be in terms of going to San Francisco coffee every morning, having coffee and reading a paper. But now and during the COVID-19 pandemic, that was not the case. And I think the challenges are for everyone else as well. Post-pandemic, there are new normals that we have to abide by, and we're looking at that as well. Some suggestions in terms of where we can go from here, what we are doing, and how collectively, as the hospitality industry, not only in food and beverage, but also in every other areas, the hospitality industry can move forward and see what we can do to look at these challenges and go from there. I will pass on to Ms. Amna to continue with the presentation.
Thank you, Richard. Now I will be talking about the F&B industry before the pandemic. As we all remember that going out and eating with your friends and family in big number of groups or even small or medium-sized groups, it was very common. People would often go out for late night suppers or lunch or dinner to grand buffets and themed parties. During festivals like Hari Raya, Diwali, Chinese New Year, Ramadan, there would be huge gatherings of people celebrating together. Another very common trend here in Malaysia is the trend of night markets or hawker stalls or street food, basically. People prefer it, it's good, it's tasty, so people really go out for it often. And usually for such places, night markets, they're very crowded and people are back to back, so it's a very close space kind of an area. Lastly, I would talk about coffee shops, as Richard mentioned. It's a very common trend of people going out to coffee shops for work, meetings, or just some casual meetings. People would go out and they would prefer to meet people outside rather than just staying in at home. So this all were the trends before the pandemic. Now I would like to pass on to Varnika as she will talk about during the pandemic.
Hello everyone. So in during this pandemic, which is very new thing, the whole coronavirus thing was a human to human virus transmission. So basically, to control this coronavirus, Malaysian government and Malaysian president actually imposed MCO and RMCO so that they could control the coronavirus and pandemic. Due to this, all the dine-ins were closed and only Grab Food and Food Panda could be operated because as it was a delivery food. Since a lot of people in Malaysia, especially it was a trend, as Amna mentioned, that a lot of people used to dine out, go out, stay in the gathering. So to control all this, every dine-in restaurants and every social and public places were closed. As we all know, F&B industry and tourism and hospitality industry especially has been immensely impacted during this COVID, as it has been totally shut off. A lot of people started cooking food at home and meals were more common in homemates. While the graph on the top right shows that all the other countries that have been affected during this COVID and how it has downfalled. Since you can see in Australia, 2nd March, the impact was -12%, and all the other countries are mentioned as well, if you look at the top right graph. Now, I would like to pass on to Jessie so that she could explain about the post-pandemic trend.
After this pandemic, most of people tend to stay at home in case of catching this virus. They would book the meal online, for example, Grab, Panda, and so on. And even though there are some big events, for example, Ramadan buffet or New Year Eve dinners, most of people still tend to hold those events at home, so meals need to be delivered at home. That's why online food ordering and food delivery will be a big part of F&B industry. And at the same time, manpower needs and demands will change to having lesser staffs on premise and more on the road delivery food and beverage. And the restaurant will be smaller to cater to safety and healthy regulations. Standard SOPs that we have adhered to for so long have and will change to reflect the new normal. The new normal is many limiting person-to-person contact since COVID-19 is mainly a contact infection. For example, ensure personal hygiene, provide sanitizer to customer and maintain social distance. Okay, pass to Nick.
Thank you, Jesse. So, well, this pandemic has evidently affected how the hospitality industry operates, especially in the food service industry. However, instead of just accepting the fate we are dealt with now, we should, on the other hand, brainstorm ways on how to accommodate towards the current SOPs and even potentially innovating it. So, firstly, in terms of services, there is a concept applied by IHG groups where home dining is practiced as the new norm. This to basically allow business to go on and at the same time adhere to the current SOPs, which could actually be emulated by hospitality organizations in Malaysia and even Asia itself. So one of the suggestions is to develop a self-running ordering platform. As mentioned previously, the ordering food online has become a big part of the F&B industry now. Therefore, we should keep up with the trend where the hotel ideal staffs could deliver the hotel food by hand instead of utilizing services such as Grab, etc. This will allow those platforms' commissions to be reduced, thus cutting the spending cost of the hotel in that area at the same time. In Korea, where the technology is vastly improving, robots as toys are created for customers who are dining by themselves to act as their company. This to avoid the customers from feeling lonely due to strict social distancing rules. This idea could actually be tried by even Malaysia itself, as where the results could potentially be fruitful. Lastly, we should start utilizing cashless transactions such as GrabPay and Touch and Go e-wallet, as it could further reduce the transfer of COVID-19 through touch when paying via cash. Now, in terms of customers, the environmental hygiene control of the restaurant should be continuously maintained. In order to abide by the social distancing guideline rules, precautions such as setting at least a meter of safe distancing between tables and providing hand sanitizers at every corner will create a sense of safety and peace for the hotel customers. Wearing face masks and making it compulsory for every customer to register entry to the outlets must be complied as well. Next slide, please. Besides just the restaurants, the hygiene control of inside kitchen is important as well. Hygiene is crucial, especially when dealing with food. Therefore, the health and hygiene of staff must always be in check to ensure that they are COVID-19 free. Monthly regular checks by health officials and authorities must be carried out to disinfect the premises. Taking a step towards innovation, immune-enhancing food can be created by food experts, as this would increase the guard of ourselves against COVID-19. All in all, from this presentation, it's evident that the pandemic has left a detrimental effect towards hospitality industry, and it's increased people's worries, especially to those seeking for jobs. However, as current and future hoteliers, we should not be worried, but instead take it as a challenge that we can overcome and persevere together in order to create a promising hospitality industry in the future. I'm sure we are capable of that. That is all from the closing. Thank you.
Okay,
So
thank you
now
so much.
basically we can open up questions.
Yes, yeah. Yes, panel members. Now I will start this time with, shall we start with maybe Dr. Dino? Would you like to start?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Candy. I think my suggestion now is in industry, there is now the protocol for food handler when doing the food delivery to outside the hotel. Yeah. The first thing we have to make sure that the chef that cook the food has already been checked the body temperature, and also using the hand glove. And should be there is another food tag in the food box mentioning that the time of food produce and the time of delivery, and also the body check of the driver. This is for the tracing when there is something happen. So I think maybe this is the suggestion for me, that you have to add also the new protocol for the food handling, especially for delivery.
Yeah.
Dr. Kendi.
Thank you, sir. So maybe next I will go in an academic side so that we will go wise. Maybe can I invite now Prof. Tina to question or maybe give any value points?
Okay, congratulations to the group that presented F&B. What's going for F&B? If you go back to the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, food will always be something that is going to be needed by people. And so I agree with some of the suggestions, especially the cashless transactions. This is something that we have to strengthen actually, and that's why you have to provide various platforms, whether it is directly through your website. Restaurants should do that already. However, I am not so keen on using staff who are in the hotel who are not working right now to be used for delivery. Why? Because you are also going to be taking away jobs from the delivery people. They may not have, because there are a lot of considerations that we have to do when you do delivery, especially, for example, what you've got to have the license to operate a machine, a motorcycle. You've got to be knowledgeable also about the area to deliver it. This is really not part of the core competency of a hotel person. But going back to the food, there are other opportunities which were not mentioned, like maybe part of the pronouncements about low risk areas or activities that can be done. These are the open air dining areas that can also be created. I know that open air dining to be made available to customers, especially for people who have not dined.
Creative for room service. We're doing high tea sets and happy hours served to your room. So you don't have to be in the bar with people and all of that. So I think what else is going to be important is moving forward. Before it was all about the San Pellegrino Mille and Michelin stars. I think moving forward will be like, are you Johnson Diversey or ISO, or are you certified SGS on your cleanliness, health, and safety? It's all going to be a lot about health and safety when the customers come. I think there'll be more private rooms. I'm noticing now a lot of our bookings coming in, they're always asking for private rooms. So we'll have to have more of those type of private rooms in your hotels. Of course, social distancing in the Philippines, we're practicing like the WHO, we're doing 1 meter apart. So 1 meter apart is about 50% of what it used to be. That's what we're doing. And then let me just see here, private room, social distancing. And then of course the local government, it's practicing what they tell you, because it's always the local government units telling you for safety protocols and all of that. But in terms of technology, you know that a lot of these hotels are coming up with apps. They're coming up with apps, and so that when you come into the hotel, you use that app, and so that there's contact tracing right now. That's what they're doing. So in terms of technology, it's contactless payments and menus, and then this contact tracing, and then I feel like it's going to be more of open spaces and all of that. That's what I feel, and that's what's happening right now. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bobby, for giving a very good insight. So let us finish with the academical input. Prof. Arif, who has a blend of academic and industry.
Okay, good luck for the first group. Yeah, I heard Richard also has a industrial background. some of the input for your groups. The first I saw or I heard the understanding the business process. All of the member already had the sense of the business process in F&B. So it's nice. The before the COVID pandemic, the people come to our hotel, to the restaurants, to the visit our restaurants for breakfast, for lunch, for wedding, for any occasions. Some of them only take away or having meals to their home. But now, after pandemic or during pandemic, the change for all the business process. We call it the resilience. Yeah. So the second aspects, I think we have to change the business process. For example, the communications. We have to change the menu. The menu, normally we put the menu on the top of the table, but now how do I think you have to mention about the how communications within hotel, within restaurant, with the customer. Yeah, now it's changing. Many hotels goes to the live Instagram for the chef. Yeah, many hotels goes to the Facebook and the internet to promote the product. Yeah. In other area, the menu changing. Yeah, the menu changing. Create the menu standard. And now in many hotels change the menu. For example, we have like Ramadan package. Yeah. Indonesian menu package that they can deliver to the customers. The menu, the size and type, the type of the food of the meal. And I think your group has to mention about the example for hotels. Yeah, for example, the Marriott, the like Bobby said, the buffet. Yeah, now if I just visit one of the hotel in Jakarta, they provide the lunch box like a bento. So maybe your groups please add 1, 2, or 3 real
examples.
activity. Yeah, in current situations. I think enough for me. Thank you for your group.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you for all the panel's input. I think always the first hotel always will be more extensive. So a lot of ideas will come in. So can I ask the Hotel 2? Okay, there is the next going to share your screen, start your presentation.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, so make sure, yeah. Okay, you can start.
Okay.
Okay, so hello, good afternoon, Dr. Kenneth and Professor. I'm glad to have a meeting with all professors and everybody. This is our presentation about future of hotel marketing in post-pandemic time. And our content is first marketing introduction and pandemic impact and challenge. Then we will introduction a case study with good marketing. Lastly is our suggestion for future hotel marketing. And next part is Yufanze, so welcome.
Good morning, everyone. Now let me introduce what marketing is and the importance of marketing. Marketing is an organizational function and process that creates, communicates, and delivers value to customers, and manages customer relationships that enable the organization and its stakeholders So why do we need to strengthen marketing? As you can see in the PPT, and marketing can accelerate the development of the hotel and establish a good image of the hotel and attract customers and improve the public understanding of the hotel and enhance the competitiveness of the hotel, and then provide customers with cheap prices and increase occupancy rate and increase hotel revenue. The last one is seek cooperation to provide assistance for the long-term development of the hotel. Therefore, we need to develop marketing. Now, next part, welcome to Coco.
Okay, so about impacts and challenges. About impacts, we talk about three parts about microscopic. The first one is about reduction in activities. Especially, we can take an example such as airline. And the next part is about some activity, some industry, which rely on the tourism, for example, exhibition. For now, maybe the physical exhibition is not allowed. If you want to go some exhibition, maybe you should choose the online. And next part is about the countries rely on tourism. For example, the Thailand is good, really good example. And in China, such as Sanya, Yunnan, which rely on the tourism, have a lot of got a lot of loss. And about the challenges, we have the 5 aspects. Even for example, in China, even after the pandemic, today also have a high vacancy. And the next one is about people. For now, the economic class is feeling better than others. And what is more important is about investor, because the investor are still pessimistic. And another is for our customer, because for now, many hotel maybe should pay more attention to how make our customer feel safe. And the last one is about a change of tourism destination. In China, as a report shows, in the 2018, people prefer to choose the destination of Sanya, Xiamen. But at this year, people more like to choose Nanjing, Changsha. But why? Because this country is city which easily be connected by the high-speed rail and highway. That's it. Next slide.
Okay, now we are going to a case study part. As we know, China began outbreak in January. During the pandemic period, the occupancy dropped by close to 19% in only 2 weeks. But luckily, with the pandemic under control and there is recovering, hotel booking in China has increased by 40% in first week in March. We can see that about 60% of travelers in China demand to stay in luxury hotel according to this distribution of hotel demand after COVID-19 outbreaks. Atlantis Sanya, as one of the luxury hotels, use their good marketing strategy, shows that after this pandemic, their occupancy is greater than the same period last year. For their marketing, they segmented by region and mainly target at family. For the public relation, they often invest for the first-line medical staff to improve their public relation. And then for the promotion, they for local residents and staff, they launched a discount package. And for the tourists from across province, they push out a product called Book Hotel and Send Air Ticket. And they are always focused on the family travel package. Also, they are good at advertising, like official website promotion, cooperate with OTA and social media. They also create a new marketing way to use online live to sell hotel booking. Atlantis reached 10.7 million turnover in 1 hour and sold 25,000 room nights in total. The revenue of the first quarter decreased by 64% and occupancy only has 13%. And after their marketing, in the second quarter, the room occupancy rate was 61%, and in July, the room occupancy rate is close to 19, which is higher than the same month last year. And for the early August, the occupancy rate is high, reached 95%, and all the rooms sold out for this month. So good marketing will help a lot. After the pandemic time, next we will have some suggestions for the marketing.
In view of the above case, we put forward some suggestions for future hotel marketing. The first point is to launch a multi-product portfolio. Expand the product portfolio can meet the various needs of customers with different preferences and improve the market share of products. For example, the implementation of catering, hotel, entertainment, integration of characteristic tourism products. This product combination can extend the stay time of tourism, or it can provide customers tourism, such as the combination of hot spring and hotel products for tourists who want to enjoy hot spring. The second suggestion is that the hotel can make use of the platform to promote. On the one hand, we can invite the personnel of some government departments to strengthen the trust from customers. On the other hand, VR Panorama opens a new model of intelligent hotel promotion. Guests can enjoy a 360-degree panoramic view of the hotel. The third suggestion is a discount. Tourism suffered during the epidemic. Within a short period of time, each hotel has launched discount promotional activities. The hotel should enable customers to enjoy better service at a more favorable price. The last suggestion is to capture the conference market, which will become the hotel's new marketing point. Conference activities are not subject to seasonal control, and the large number of meeting people can bring more stable income to the hotel. The hotel should improve the visibility of the conference room and improve the level of conference service by introduce some smart products. The conference market is diversified. In the future, one area of the hotel could be set up as an exhibition hall for exhibition promotion and sales. After there are some reference set out. Thank you. There are some reference. That's all. Thank you.
Okay. So let's start this time with, maybe we will start with an academic. It was a good presentation. So can maybe Prof. Tina wants to start first. Any questions for them or any suggestions?
Thank you very much. The focus of the marketing and promotion was to bring out products and services to your customers. But right now, I think in post-COVID, we've got to make sure that we also build the confidence of the customers for the products and services that hotels are offering. So how do we do that? You do that by sharing what improvements or what changes you've made in the hotel or in the restaurant in terms of making sure that social distancing is practiced. Your staff are trained now to provide better service, mindful of the wearing of masks, making sure that everything is what customers are protected about dining in the hotel. So promotion is not just promoting products and services, but also focusing on how you can make sure that your customers get confident about the products and services that you're offering. So I was looking at some of the products. Are you able to, okay, some of the products that you listed. One of the things that came out here recently in the Philippines is the staycation. Because you don't have international guests, you can now entice local customers to actually stay in the hotel and maybe experience how it is again to stay in the hotel. But again, you've got to be mindful about the new rules and regulations. I looked at, last night I enjoyed one commentary in CNN when they had flights now going to nowhere. People just went on board the aircraft and then they traveled for 8 hours going around Australia or just dining in the airline because people have missed the traveling. So there are new experiences that we can actually create for customers while there are lockdowns, where there are quarantine that is still appropriate. So maybe you've gotten some of the principles there, but I did not see about promoting, building confidence of customers with regards to the products and services that you have to offer in the hotel and restaurant. So those are my thoughts about the presentation that was made by the group. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. So maybe can we get some view from Dr. Dino? Dr. Dino?
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Gandhi. Thank you for group number 2 presentation. Some point I agree, and maybe there is a suggestion for me. And with this condition, we have to more wise in spending the budget of promotion. And I agree with the group number 2 that currently in our industry, especially in Marriott, we utilize the digital marketing to make our awareness to our hotel and also to increase our hotel bookings. Maybe the digital marketing also can calculate the return on investment when we spending the budget of the marketing, and we can calculate when the budget can achieve with the number of room sales. And also, Jason, in this industry, the digital marketing also work with the revenue management, work together to boost the hotel revenue. So maybe you can also add the revenue management and also the digital marketing to boost the revenue. And also another thing is some of us also work with another platform that they mentioned before, working with the OTA or another marketing place to make another hotel channel distribution to spread out or to penetrate another market. And the last thing the important that we have to revise the budget with this condition here, because if we use the budget before the pandemic, we can catch up the numbers here. So we have to revise this budget maybe for the second this semester. And then also for the next year, maybe we have to make more the calculation. I think we cannot using the 2020 as the base of the budget. Maybe we can use the 2019. Maybe in Indonesia, for example, there is the survey that mentioned that the 2021 the RevPAR of the hotel will be decreased by around 30% something. So we have to make sure that the budget of the marketing also will be reflected with the revenue in the 2021. I think that's all, Dr. Candy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Dino. So I think, yeah, so just before I move forward, is it okay we extend our timing a bit of 15 to 20 minutes because of, is it okay for the panel members, or do you have other appointments before, so that I can change the...
Dr. Kandapan, we're fine.
Okay. What about Dr. Dino?
Fine.
Yeah, okay, thank you, thank you.
Okay then.
Yeah, yeah. So maybe some views from Prof. Arif.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Kandi. Thank you for the marketing team. I just flashback. I was sales manager in 1994, starting for banquet department and also ending as senior sales manager and assistant director of sales at Intercontinental Jakarta. So in this area, I would like to suggest you some points. Yeah, all of you did very well presentations with the current data. My suggestion is regarding the segmentation. So we have to see from the helicopter the different segmentation in current situation. Maybe the international FIT difficult to attach, but the other industries still increase. For example, the pharmaceutical and also medicine, hospital still busy. So maybe you have to create the segmentations, room segmentation for doctor who wants to need a room for the rest, yeah, and also maybe all the medicine members. The first one is you have to see the new segmentations framework. The others, there is no bar, what we call it, best availability rate anymore. So we have to create, rearrange the rate. For example, in Indonesia, we promote the pay now, stay later. Yeah, one of the best practice is from Marriott the Yogyakarta. They create the package until December 2021. So based on this practice, I think your group member also can give the good example from this side. The other side is your team should be, I agree with Prof. Tina, hotel confidence. Confident about the new SOP that you will be apply for your operations, and also new product. Is it very, is it see from the trend of the customer? Yeah. And also the how we use different channel of marketing. As I mentioned, many hotels using YouTube increase. Yeah, they increase using YouTube and also live IG to promote the restaurant. So many of the demonstration from culinary, from F&B, it will good for communication also. Thank you from, that's all from my suggestion. Thank you, Dr. Kandi.
Yes, thank you, Prof, for that, adding some different type of marketing like tools or maybe channels can be implemented. So can I request before we move to the next presentation, Mr. Bobby to give his insights? And
thank you very much. For the group who did the marketing, the case study of Atlantis, Sanya, good job, well done. You did all the steps, and it's a great presentation, and it's good to know about how with high-speed rail and highways, I mean, and domestic tourism is moving because of those things that China has, which is great, and you can see it. I mean, China is will be the most powerful country very, very soon, and all the best to them. And their tourism has for the last few months they're already on the 40-60% already occupancy, while the rest of the world is still struggling. So congratulations to them. But for the team, thank you very much for this case study. We all know, marketing is very close to my heart, because, in a hotel or in an airline or in a hotel or in restaurants, you have to have good food, you have to have excellent service. However, it's all about marketing. I truly believe it's all about marketing, and you have to be smart, because I know hotels here in the Philippines, there are hotels out there that spend $500,000 a year on marketing, but then I have other hotels that spend 1/10, only $50,000, but they do the same thing. So you have to be smart. So the items that I would mention is it's all about digital marketing nowadays, and 50% of our business right now coming into all our properties, it's all e-commerce. So it's all about the website. How good is your website? I mean, do you have 3D? Do you have the new normal videos? Your website has to be better than any other hotel. So whether it's an airline or a hotel, the website is very, very important. I know we always talk about OTAs, these online travel agents. These people will give you business. So those channels for e-commerce are very, very important. Social media right now is going crazy. Facebook, Instagram, all of this. I mean, this is where you put your promotions. If you want to be smart, this is where you put it on social media platforms, because people can't really go out, or they're scared to go out because of the fear factor. The fear factor, they don't want to go out and go to hotels. But if you put it in social media and they see this, and that's what all these countries are doing right now, they're doing these travel fairs, and it works. They're selling hotel rooms for 50% off. And what I noticed as well in hotels is giving local resident promos, giving local resident discounts, and up to 60%. They sell. One hotel of mine at Dusitani in Davao, where 40-50% of our bookings are coming in through local resident packages at 60% off. It's because people are traveling with their families. So it's all about families right now. Lastly is social media, online, Google Ads. Everyone's using that platform, Google Ads. So Google, so you can always put little money, like $10 a day, and it'll get you to a lot of places. When you type out Amman, and then all of a sudden what comes out is Atlantis, Sanya, China. You can do it. Just even with $5, $10 every single day on Google Ads. So very important, Google Ads, like what was mentioned with Dr. Dino, is for revenue management. We use in most of our hotels, we use ideas, and they're working right now for our revenue management. However, the last thing I would like to mention in marketing, for business intelligence, is very important, whether you're in Review Pro or how is your ranking on TripAdvisor. But the one thing I've learned from some successful people like Adrian Zeka and all of them of Amman, the one most important in marketing that you have to put is word of mouth. That is like the best. If you have great service, excellent food, and all of that, but the word of mouth, people talk and says, that's a great hotel, that's a great airline. That word of mouth is very, very important. And you know how much it costs you? Zero. Thank you, Dr. Kandapan.
Thank you. I think we had especially marketing has opened a lot of discussion, because whether we are an industry or an academician or as an individual, we become a product. We must know how to upsell ourselves, how to position ourselves in the hood. It's whether you manage a property, I think, as in real life for the lifelong, as an individual, as a citizen, you must know how to put yourself. That itself is a marketing, if I'm not mistaken, right? So I think the marketing is needed not only for your profession, even for your personal life. When you go for a gathering, you must know how to put yourself. That itself is a marketing tool. Thank you so much. So we move on to the next hotel, VAM Hotel presentation, Hotel 3 VAM Hotel. Can you start sharing your screen? So now we are HR. Yes, you can start.
Exponentially.
Okay. Good morning, everyone. Our group will focus on the employee turnover in HR. First, I'll introduce our team members: Nija Wei, Mo Wan Yu, Wang Jinyi, and me, Liu Yuqiao. And then I would like to introduce the current situation of turnover. The hospitality industry is one of the largest employers in the world, covering many different segments and employer sectors, from food and beverage to travel and tourism. The hospitality industry is booming, but faces its own unique workforce challenge. Employer turnover is extremely high. In fact, the hotel and motel industry alone experience an employer turnover rate of around 70%, exporting higher than the annual average of 10 to 15%. In such a consumer-facing industry, having employers constantly coming and going can make it difficult to meeting consumer expectation. It can also be costly to find, hire, and train new employers. Unfortunately, because hospitality often relies on part-time employers and seasonal works, it can be difficult to find the people who want to stick around for a long run. And here are 8 of biggest causes of employer turnover in hospitality: unclear job expectation, and disconnect with manager, and mismatch between jobs and employers, lack of flexibility, and unhealthy work environment, inefficient communication, lack of recognition, and lastly is minimal growth opportunities. Next, my partner will using an example to explain the impact of turnover. Welcome, Amy.
Okay, next, we take DoubleTree by Hilton Beijing as an example. It explains the influence of the unfavorable hotel control, which leads to high employee turnover rate. The first, employee turnover will increase the operating cost of the hotel. Hotel recruitment, training talent all have to carry out cost investment. This investment will flow out the hotel with the loss of staff and into other hotels or other industries. In order to maintain normal business activity, the hotel needs to recruit suitable talent to fill the vacant position after the loss of original staff. So it needs to pay a certain replacement cost, that is the loss of economy. The second impact on hotel image. The high turnover rate of hotel staff will bring unfavorable speculation about the humanistic environment or corporate culture of the hotel, which will affect the image of the hotel. For customers, the massive diminution and job hopping of hotel staff will make them have some concerns when they choose to stay in the hotel, which will directly affect the hotel's income. For the staff in the hotel, the frequent job hopping of colleagues will also bring negative effect the hotel's income. For the staff in the hotel, the frequent job hopping of colleagues will also bring negative emotional impact to them and even make job hopping become a trend. affecting the harmonious and effective operation of the hotel's human resources mechanism. The loss of staff will lead to the loss of hotel custom. The second, the quality of hotel service has declined. Hotel staff, especially hotel-trained professionals and skilled service skills and contrast service awareness for guests, which are slowly formed in the cumulative work. If they leave the hotel and the new employee cannot reach the level of the old staff and the requirements of the hotel service quality, it will inevitably cause the decline of the whole service quality. Last, affect hotel staff morale. The loss of some employees, especially trained senior employees, will have a negative impact on the mood and work attitude of other on-the-job staff, and may lead to a wider loss of staff, and their enthusiasm for work will be seriously affected. Okay, next, welcome the Jerry.
Okay, thank you, Amy. Then I'm gonna talk about the good practice. The James Cook Hotel was selected as a good practice. Is located in the heart of a major commercial and retail district of New Zealand. It is a 4-star full services hotel with 260 rooms and suites. This organization was also selected as a case study due to its performance in the Best Places to Work awards competition in year 2006. In an industry that often suffers from a very high staff turnover, managers at James Cook Hotel had challenged themselves to reduce staff turnover. The cost of recruiting and employing a new staff member is estimated at $10,000, and it also takes around 6 months to recruit, train, and induct a new staff. From year 2003 to 2008, the turnover rate of hotel staff dropped sharply from 70 to 80% to 40% per year. And in year 2008, the James Cook Hotel has 181 staff members, up from 160 last year as a result of increased business. Within 50 of the 181 staff having worked at this hotel more than 5 years, lower than the industry average staff turnover rate, enables experienced staff to deliver service of a consistently high standard. And by reducing the high employee turnover rate at James Cook Hotel, has brought the benefits of increased productivity, saving hotel operating costs, and excellent customer satisfaction, and also a good profitability of the hotel. Then let's give our attention to Muan Yu.
Thanks. Now I would like to introduce our conclusion and suggestion part. High employee turnover can have a severe impact on the business, both financially and emotionally. If a manager suspects that turnover is an issue for the business, he or she should take steps to recognize possible cases of turnover, measure the turnover rate, determine turnover costs, and then address turnover problems. We do also have few suggestions. Let me explain one by one. First is hire the right people. The best way to ensure employees don't leave you is to make sure you are hiring the right employees to begin with, and then be absolutely sure the candidate is a fit or not only for it, but for your company cultures. And the second one is fire people who don't fit. The same goes for cutting employees loose when necessary. Sometimes even when you follow the advice above, you get an employee who don't matter what you try to do, just doesn't fit. And the third one is paying attention to engagement. We think you need to save most of energy to take action based on the results, and you need to work to build a culture of engagement in your company or over the year. And the next is prioritize employee happiness. Employee happiness is a key indicator of jobs
satisfaction with values. Just for starters, investing the happiness of the employees will pay dividends in engagement, productivity, and retention. And the next one is make opportunities for development and growth. If you are not developing your employees, then you are not investing them. Then if you are not investing in them, they will not stay with us. And the last one is in this special period, we do think the hotel companies need stay without pay and rotation rest. And also layoffs. That's all for our project. Thanks.
Thank you so much, WAM team. Maybe this time we will start with maybe Dr. Arif.
Thank you for the HR group. I heard some key words that a good strategy for implementation in human resource management. But I have some suggestion or some input for this group. First of all, the organization or the hotel should has a certain level of the corporate culture. So make sure the organization has already applied and proved the corporate culture levels. As we understand, the international hotel operators has a certain standard of the SOP, the procedures by system. Okay, the second one is analyze if we hire people. You mentioned about the right people, yeah. But I also adding some keyword to analyze the background, yeah. Now we can collect the data for IoT, for internet, about the education, about the achievement of the person, the patients. So we really contact with the person to analyze. Second one is hire the attitude. So some hotels mention that they don't hire the right people, but they hire attitude, high quality of attitude. The third one that I agree, you mentioned about the engagement, yeah. We have to clear and equal in communications, reward, and also people developments. For me, I very happy and also very love in people development. So all the training in our campus, I normally attend. Okay, that's all. Thank you for the good word for the HR team. Back to you, Dr. Candy.
Thank you, Prof. Harif. So this time I will start with Mr. Bobby. Next.
Thank you. You know, HR is very crucial in every organization, in every hotel or any restaurant, in tourism in general. So HR, it's that department that makes fun and makes love. You have to spread the love and you have to create fun in the organization, and that's why people will stay. So it's all about the culture of fun. And I remember I was with GMs all around the world, and we had a session, and we talked about if you wanted to copy another 5-star hotel, and everything can be copied. You can have a S-Class Mercedes-Benz. You can have a beautiful king-size bed with a beautiful mattress with a memory foam. You can have excellent service and all that. But the thing that can never be copied is Professor Arif, Professor Dr. Dino. All these people, it's your staff cannot be copied. It's the culture of the organization can never be copied. And that's why you're talking about the DoubleTree, the attrition rate. was very high in the DoubleTree. However, the James Cook Hotel, I mean, there were people, 50 staff stayed even after 5 years. They were there from the 181 staff. So it's all about, in our industry, it's all about having fun and at the same time making money. And so in our organizations, what we do is we put just a little bit of regular employees. Majority of the staff are contractual labor for housekeeping, for areas that you don't really need regular employees. So what happens with the service charge in a few of my properties, the service charge per person is $1,000 US, $1,000 and above. So who wants to leave? You still have your salary, your benefits, and all of that. Nobody wants to leave. You have to kick them out, make it redundant, the position, because everybody wants to stay forever. So, but very, very important is like what Professor Arif said about the hiring and attitude. We hire always on attitude. I don't care if the person is applying the person's applying to be the front desk clerk. And guess what? If the person is that I'm interviewing is a nurse, or a person from the BPO, the business processing outsourcing industry, it's okay. The person doesn't have to be a hotelier, as long as we hire the person with the right attitude, because you can easily teach skills. I'll send them to Cornell courses for those short courses, no problem. But it's hard to teach attitude. You cannot teach that. That's upbringing is very important. And lastly is I would like to let you know, it's all about training as well. I was very fortunate. A good friend of mine was the head of training for Peninsula Worldwide based in Chicago. And I would talk to him and I go, how do you give the legendary service of Peninsula? What do you do? And he goes, Bobby, we trained them for this whole week. Then I go, what happens next week? We train them again. Then I go, what happens next month? We train them again. Every single day. They have to do a certain number of hours the whole month. So it's all about training. It's all about having fun every day. You know, the staff have to enjoy what they're doing, and the attrition rate will always be low. You will always have a good organization. Thank you.
That's a good words. I think all the training is very important. So let's see what Prof. Christina is going to add on, or maybe is there any controversial discussion here?
Yes, the challenge about being the last speaker, am I the last speaker for this batch, is everybody's said it already. But I'd like to also go to the picture about post-COVID. A lot of people right now have lost their jobs, actually, the tourism industry. Philippine statistics would show that around 5 million people have lost their jobs in tourism and hospitality. And there are like 500,000 micro, small, medium enterprises where the bulk of tourism enterprises have also closed shop as a result of COVID. And so what do you do with a lot of employees? In one of the webinars where Bobby and I were together, he mentioned something about right now hotels are actually having to choose about retaining retaining some of the employees. And you know, Filipinos love each other. And so he mentioned that some hotels now, instead of having somebody work 6 days a week, they just put in 3 days, and then another employee will take it 3 days and 3 days as well. And so you share on the benefits about it. So you've got turnovers are going to be very high, especially now. And so you've got to also think about what will happen when you open your doors, maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from, and you've lost already the best people that you've had. So maybe take a look at how you can reskill some of your employees, how you can do training while they're on leave or you're not operating. Many of the hotels have actually closed shop or have reduced their operations to maybe they don't need some of the staff anymore because they're not offering maybe F&B, they're just doing rooms right now. And so you've got to take a look at how you can keep them on, give them allowances, and then maybe upskill them so that they have skills that are going to be useful with the new protocols that are being implemented now by the government. So post-COVID, there's a lot of challenges that we have because retaining the good ones are actually going to be challenging also. So you've got to put in some incentives also for them, how they can be of service when the hotels and restaurants are open. So HR, I believe everyone that HR really is, I think the people who are working 24 hours nonstop, because making sure that everybody that they care about actually still with them, or if not, trying to do some some alternate work for them. Or maybe now, if you used to be the front office person, now you're doing something else. You're doing multi-skills, or maybe some other task. Like I remember, I think Marriott, one of the HR managers, shared that they're doing murals right now, and yet they've got a lot of employees who have hidden talents, and so they tap that as part of their creative way of improving on the environment in the hotel. So just a few words about post-COVID. So thank you very much.
Thank you. Let's listen what Dr. Dino from one of the biggest international properties bringing the HR perspectives.
Thank you, Dr. Candy. Congratulations for group number 3, the HR management. And I remember that our founding father, Mr. Bill Marriott, mentioned to us, to all of us, all the Marriott staff that mentioned that Bill Marriott mentioned that take care your associate, then they will take care your guests. So this is meaning that we have to engage with our associate, then our associate will deliver the best service for our guests. Yeah. But maybe I suggest an addition to group number 3. There will be another approach with the HR in the next future, especially to facing the millennial worker, yeah, with their characteristic in this hospitality, and also in the next 2 years, maybe with this economic condition that should be, there is the right sizing in organization. So some of the workers should have the multi-skill. Yeah. Because of the business not so good, so we have to resizing the organization, and we have to make all our staff is multi-skill to can operate the hotel as well. I think that's all, Dr. Candy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for adding. So let's, it was a very good input. Can I ask Hotel 4 to start sharing your screen? So it was a very good discussion, started with the class hotel on F&B, then we move on to marketing. Now we are in HR. Let's see the Hotel 4 is going to focus on what perspective. Hotel 4, can you share your screen? Yeah. Juan? Yeah. They are going to share their own experience from the module which I'm teaching on channel management. Yes, you can continue. Yes, Hotel 4, you can start.
Sorry, I'm mute. I already started. Okay, good morning, everyone. And our team is going to share the experience about channel management based on the hospitality application simulation exercise. So the first, Sandra will introduce the hotel performance later, and our team member Mia will going to share the channel management simulation process. Later on, Sanya, Sam will talk about the practices and suggestions from literature. After that, Lo Yang will share the experience about the real life management, about the channel management. Last, I will make the conclusion. So first, welcome Sandra to talk about the business performance about our hotel. Sandra?
Hello, can you hear me? If everyone can hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, okay. First of all, I will introduce the financial situation of our company this year. Most of the revenue comes from the zone which has 30 minutes. In the last year, our hotel has ranked first for 9 times and second for 3 times, which are shown in the table above. Therefore, it can be concluded that our hotel won a big win in the competitions. That customer satisfaction is very important for hotels. We can stand out in this competition because we have a high level of service in this industry. According to our hotel customer satisfaction data, our customer satisfaction has been gradually improving. In terms of hardware facilities, as can be seen from the above table, our hotel's hardware facilities and service are highly rated by customers, which is mainly due to our emphasis on staff training, as well as the above market salary level. It not only satisfies the customer satisfaction, but also improves the employee satisfaction, thus winning the hotel a good word of mouth, improving the customer loyalty, and laying a solid foundation for our channel management. Welcome to Mia. Introduce next part.
Well, thanks, Sandra. Regarding the operation method and doubt of our hotel in the process of channel management, I will talk about it according to 4 quarters. The first season, since we don't know the specific operation situation, we set according to the hotel's channel sales last year. In order to cultivate loyal customers, direct booking account for more than 60%, and we adopt a rate parity strategy. For small peak weekends, weekend prices are lower than the weekdays. In order to prevent the occupancy from being too low, the price will be automatically reduced when the reservation is less than 45%. And in order to ensure more income under the high reservation rate, the price will be increased when the reservation exceeds 75%. And second quarter, the hotel's conference operations are good. In order to differentiate from other hotel strategies, the large groups weekday and weekend prices have been swapped. And this quarter, calculations and adjustments are made based on the market share data of each channel in the report last month. At the same time, more use of OTA channels to make reservations to promote hotels. And the third quarter, the occupancy rate fell in June. After comparing with other hotel room prices, the strategy of low price and high occupancy rate was implemented. The occupancy increased after the price reduction, so there was not much adjustment in this quarter. And the last quarter, the occupancy has dropped sharply, so major adjustments have been made, such as abandoning the rate parity strategy and try to adjust the channel put 0 to 4. We guess that these channels may bring a certain amount of sales, but the report shows that this adjustment did not increase any sales for us. In the end, we didn't quite understand this situation, and we are more curious about the setting of other hotels. So then, welcome Yang-sen to introduce practice and strategy from literature.
Thank you, Mia. This part, I will introduce the problems and the solutions from literature. The first topic of this part is disintermediation. According to before study, we know about 1/5 of booking are completely online generated, and the number is growing. So some researchers have expresses the concern about the uncertain future of traditional intermediaries in the industry. And some scholars even believe that the increasing influence of those online technologies has led to strong pressure for disintermediation in the hotel industry and the tourism. And the second part is prosperity and the solution in countering in disintermediation for prosperity. Through the article from the Elena team, we learned that every online travel agency has a clause in its terms and conditions which requires that every apartment or rooms we sell through them must be seen or lower on their website and must have the same booking conditions and the contents. For solutions, the HeatTrace team's article put forward some method to encourage guests to book directly and still keep the price parity. For example, provide more value-added packages for direct booking channels, or provide better standard rooms, such as wheel space in hotels for customers who book directly. However, the method proposed by the HeatTrace team does not fit our system because our hotel system provides a framework within which we do not have the option of value-added packages and better standard rooms. But the article provides an idea to change price parity. Maybe this cannot be achieved in a real industry, but in this system, we have the freedom to change the price parity. Therefore, we try to set different price for different channels, and the price of the direct booking is often the lowest in each channel. We hope to increase the number of direct booking customers in this way. And welcome Luoyang to introduce next part.
Okay, now I will talk about the practice of hotel channel management in real life. The first point is vacant room allocation. When demand is high, it's easy to work out the right distribution model, and the impact of cost may be overlooked. However, most of the time, the demand is insufficient when the vacancy rate is high. If the distribution channel configuration is not reasonable, the hotel will reduce the price. Therefore, the hotel should monitor the main distribution channels in real time. Real-time data can provide managers with right vacancy rates, helping revenue set a price for vacant rooms and select other suitable distribution channels. The second point is grasp the right real-time data of demand. For hotels, the most important pressure of competition is that they must understand the customer demand for their hotel. Demand is the most important factor affecting price. The hotel should grasp the demand data at any time. Real-time adjustment of the price strategy to ensure the hotel's profit. The third point is understand how online travel agencies work. The hotel should make full use of analytical data and reports to select the most suitable and effective online travel agency planned for, and make operation plans and online travel agency promotion plans. The hotel knows more about the real operational performance of online travel agency, the more benefits will gain. The last point is customer classify. The hotel makes different price and plans according to the classify of customers, such as business, family, individual, or group travel. When searching for classify, it can leave more vacant room for short-stay business customers and double room reservations. Adopting this approach can help hotel better classify customers, then budget and provide special products and service according to the needs of different customers. The above are the methods I collected on the real hotel change management. Now let's welcome our group leaders, Leona, to give the final conclusion. Thank you.
Okay, for the conclusion part, I summarized as two main points. The first is pay close attention to the trend of market and competitors. Pay attention to the change of market demand. Aim for the off-peak season according to the information of previous years, and then adjust the price strategy and the meeting and dynamics. And then pay attention to the price strategy of competitors and adjust the real-time selling price and cost price according to the advantages of the hotel itself, including the price of each channel of the rooms and the setting of different source prices as well as the price of F&B. Second, have a holistic view. In the simulation game, although each plan exists independently, there is a chain reaction between the plans. As the lecture said, we need to choose between the games and losses. I think in the real life, we also need to balance it. So therefore, when our team is running as a whole, we are not pursuing the first in any one or more sectors, but more in balancing about considering how to keep ahead and how to catch up with the lagging parts. So that's all for our presentation about the channel management. Thanks for listening.
And thank you, Hotel, for sharing your presentation from your own experience of this module. Quite interesting. Let's start this time with Mr. Bobby.
Channel management is close to my heart, and I'm sure Dr. Dino and Professor Arif will agree with me. We were doing channel management before when it was manual, and we're just so happy that it's all automated now, and you're dealing with companies like Ray Tiger and Revenate. But what I wanted to say, no, congratulations to Hotel 4. Great presentation, and can we hire all of you to put you in our properties, because we really need some good revenue managers and some good people.
We'd love to.
We would love to have you, because you got it spot
Good,
on. I mean,
good, Bobby.
everything that
Good,
you said,
I agree.
yeah, everything that you said, all of you, is what we need. However, what I feel, it's changing a little bit, because you talked a lot about rate parity, and I'm sure my fellow panelists will agree with me. It was good with rate parity for many years. Everybody would follow. But guess who's the first one to break it? It's Agoda. I'll tell you, Agoda is part of Priceline, which is the biggest gorilla, the 700-pound gorilla out there. They own Bookings.com, they own C-Trip, they own all the biggest ones. So what Agoda does is they go to your hotel, they go to your wholesale, your B2Bs, they go to your wholesale, they buy it from your wholesale rates that you've given out, and then they still have 25% commission. So what they do is they use the 25%, they give out 20% plus the lowest rate. So what happens is they come out on the online channel lower than your website rate. And then you're wondering, your revenue manager's hitting their head. What am I doing? How can there's no more rate parity? And all the bookings go through Agoda, and it doesn't go through your website. And the hotel loses out because you have to pay commission. So what we do, guess what we do, how we go around it? How we go around it is we just close out the deluxe room. You want to play that game? We'll close out certain types of rooms. So you have to book the big suites. Agoda, you have to book the big suites. So that's what we do. But what we're doing as well for channel management is we change the rates 10 times a day. We change it at night to a lower rate so that we get a few bookings that comes in. Then in the morning, we change it again. We look at the competition, which what you all said, which is all correct. But what we're doing right now is when the customer leaves from the OTA, because the OTAs are our best friends. We love the people from OTAs because they bring like 40–50% of our bookings in is through them, through the channel manager, through them. So what we do now is when the person leaves and checks out, we give them a card and says, would you want to be a corporate client? Because we can give you a better rate. We can give you a lower rate. But don't get me wrong, we love channel management and OTAs. They have the highest rate. In all our hotels, OTAs are highest. The corporate, wholesale, all of the other segments are low. Thank you, but congratulations. Thank you.
Yes, I want to share more. Like the OTA channel is the one main channel that lead customer to our hotel. And then we need to transfer the OTA hotels to our royal customer. Yeah.
Yes, agree. Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so this time we give to Prof. Christina.
Numbers really mean a lot in any hotel, because you've got to make sure that you know where to push, where to pull back. And so this was a great presentation that you made, and I agree that beyond the manual way, you're very lucky because there are a lot of programs that are available right now that you can use. What you need to do though is to make sure that you're well versed with different platforms that are available, and you should be able to see what the competitors in the area or within the vicinity. Compare yourself to similar establishments as well, because sometimes, you know, people go overboard. They compare themselves with everyone. You can't do that because you've got a certain brand image, you've got a certain reputation, you've got to protect as well, because you might be getting not the kind of customers you want in your hotel. So congratulations. Numbers really are very important in this world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Prof. Christina. So let's ask Dr. Dino would like to add something.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Candy. And I agree with Bobby and Prof. Tina. And congratulations with group number 4. But I have another input. The first thing is regarding the rate parity. Rate parity is an obligation for us, the hotelier, that we must be comply. And also we cannot dilute it, the rate, yes. We cannot dilute the rate. And we have also to maintain our good revenue management system that adhere also the correct algorithm. So our forecast maybe will be more precise in the next future. I think Bobby also agree with us. If we have the good algorithm for the next historical figures, we can forecast the hotel revenue more precise in the future. And also maybe the suggestion for group number 4, there is also, we have to link between the room allocation in revenue management and the room preventive management system to ensure that the room that we sold are always in the good condition. I think that's all from me, Dr. Candy.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Dino. I think we have this time Prof. Arif. Prof.
Okay.
Arif,
thank you for the channel management group. Now I am the last panelist here. All the experts already explained. Dr. Dino and Bobby, the expert in revenue management, and also Prof. Tina already mentioned about all. But some thing that I want to say is lucky for all of you. You already know about the channel management. This is from my experience. Almost 3 or 5 or 4 years I spent in operations. So in the 5th year, so I started to understanding the revenue management in the banquet and also rooms marketing. So the channel management is very related to revenue management. As we know, the function of revenue management is to optimize the product availability and the prices. So there are 2 key points here. Product value and also customer segment. If we know we have to apply the right product, we have to apply the right to the right customer, the right time. Bobby mentioned about the selling the night period and also 1 day period before, a month period before. There's different strategy. And also pricing and packaging. So glad to hear all of you already mentioned about the aspect. So I think congratulations. The leader is India, Juan Chan. Thank you for the good work. Thank you.
Thank you, Prof. We move to the last presentation. Again, I would like to apologize for the time extension. So can we have the Hotel 5, the Star Hotel, to start sharing the screen? Yeah, the Star Hotel, can you start sharing the screen? There's a very good inputs coming from the panels. It was very interesting because this is what we are expecting. We need more interaction inputs. Okay, let's start with room division. You can start.
Okay, hello everyone. We are Star Hotel. Now I will introduce it. The guest room department is the department of the hotel that provides accommodation service to guests. Room income is the main source of hotel operating income. The basic room types of the room department include single room, double room, and so on. Its main responsibility is to provide guests with a comfortable, quiet accommodation environment and convenient service. Now, next, welcome my partner.
Okay, I will introduce the basic functions of the hotel room department. It can mainly divided into 4 parts. The first is the main part with the room cleaning, and then common area cleaning and maintenance. For the third part is laundry and the laundry operation. The last part is room department supervision. Okay, next page.
Okay, now I'm going to talk about customer service process and the notes of hotel room department. First of all, the traditional customer service process is customers call and ask for their needs, and then hotel room departments receive the information and prepare for it, and then we'll have the employee to knock the customer's door to do the service. And normally the customers will wait 3 to 5 minutes after do the service, then the employee will exit the room. But now, how some hotels, they change some the traditional ways. For example, Intercontinental, the Intercontinental Shimao Wonderland Hotel in Shanghai, which just opened in 2018, has integrated the WeChat Smart Hotel module. And during the stay, both room service and equipment control can be completed on the one mobile phone. And if customers has another requirements, the requirements will be described through the mobile phone, and the intelligent robot will be arranged in the background of system to provide assistance. And actually now not only this hotel provides such service, also have others. And I think we'll have more and more hotels adopt this method in the future, because this can not only avoid unnecessary troubles in special period like now, and but also can save the staff cost. And next page, please. And now I'm going to talk about the 10 notes on guest service in hotel rooms. As you say, those 10 notes are very important in the hotel room department. One employee do the guest service, and they follow those notes, it will show more higher professional quality service to the customers. And this is very important to the hotels. And welcome Zhao Yuxiao. Next page, please.
Next page, please. The main working guidelines are adherence to service standards, adherence to standards with circumstances, professional establish good professional ethics at work, crisis management, pay attention to guest dynamics. If there are any special circumstances in the room, it should be reported immediately. Maintenance facilities, pay attention to whether the room facilities are in good condition. Foreign affairs discipline, avoid discussing political sensitive issues with guests. And the next page, please. Next page,
okay,
please.
Okay, I will talk about quality standard for room departments. The quality standard can basically be divided into 3 systems. The first system is ISO system. If you did a really good job of the quality control, you can get the certificate from ISO. And then some big hotel chain has their own quality standard. For example, Marriott and Hilton. But the basic one is national law. Every country has their law to control the quality of the restaurants and hotels. How to improve the quality? There are basically have 4 ways. The first is define what those standards are. In order to improve quality, everyone needs to understand what the quality actually are. So you need to clarify the quality standard to new employees. Then you need to choose measurable results. Quality standard should be focused on improving over time. It's not a one-time thing. And continuous follow-up. It's easy to achieve one goal, but you need to have a long-term goal and flexibility and always move on to the finish line. The next obvious step is to create new goal to reach for. Improve quality is not one-time goal, but you need to set up new goal to following up. Okay, welcome to my partner.
I think you are muted. Can you unmute? Zion Zing. Can you unmute? You are muted.
Okay, sorry. Under the pandemic, the standard cost of the global hotels are not optimistic. Most hotels choose to suspend the business for the renovation and readjust the hotel measure due to the closure of the hotel. Most of the employees will laid off. So why the animals are the source of the COVID-19? Many hotels in China conduct comprehensive investigations on such incidents, and the hotels actively respond to and advocate against and the scale of the wild animals. The consumer will pay more attention to physical exercise, so customers will further increase their demand and for the fitness and the swimming. So due to the continuous the development of the times, people needs are the constantly changing. The pandemic has promoted new and upgraded consumption, such as the online training, online shopping, and the contactless the service. During the pandemic, the hotels of any type and are the vigorously facing the food and the beverage delivery market, especially the Haidilao hot pot brand. In the addition to providing the customers with contactless the meal takeaway service, they also provide the customers with free masks, disinfection the tissues, free special the beverage, or order the takeaways to exchange points for the other products in the restaurants and so on. The most hotels readjusted their emergency response plans, especially the late of the response measure for the infectious disease. Okay, next page, welcome my partners.
Okay, thank you, Sherry. Now I'm going to give some suggestions for the room operation after the COVID-19 epidemic. Well, the first step one we need to do is to do a good job in disinfection. Well, the first is the facility disinfection. We have to disinfect the toilets, door handles, and elevators, corridors, and other public areas and related equipment on time. And the second is we have to improve the air circulation to maintain circulation ventilation inside the hotel to ensure that the circulation in the public areas, guest rooms, restaurants, and other densely populated spaces. And the third we have to do is to make the staff disinfection. All the employees should thoroughly clean and disinfect their hands, and they have to wear masks and have to wear clean and tidy clothes, pay attention to appearance, and also maintain a good personal hygiene. And the last we have to do is to limit the number of customers. According to the number of customers, we have to appropriately increase the frequency of the disinfection in order to maintain the public health and create a safe living environment for customers. Well, the step two we have to do is to do a good job in staff health management. The first is we have to carry out the epidemic prevention training for staff and standardize the use of masks and also the clothing protection and personal cleaning. While the second we have to do is to set up a SOP for staff during the epidemic prevention so as to ensure that the staff can carry out their daily work comprehensively. Well, the lastly we have to do is to do a good job in prevention and publicity. With the hotel own technical advantages, hotels can help customers check in, check out, and pay online more conveniently and quickly, and reduce the contact between people as much as possible to avoid the cross of infection. Okay, so that's all for our hotel's presentation. Thank you. Oh, this is our reference. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. So this time we will start with Prof. Christina.
Thank you. Thank you for the nice ideas that you mentioned. I agree with many of the post-pandemic suggestions you made. Two things came out actually because of the new protocols in cleaning rooms. The turnaround for checkout rooms right now is longer. So you can't just have like 2 hours in between a checkout and a check-in. Now it is like longer. Maybe sometimes in some hotels now they're requiring like the room has to be vacant for 12 hours or 24 hours. Second is a lot of these amenities have changed also. You may want to take a look at, they've changed, they've added what? Alcohol, face masks, etc. And these are things that are going to factor in the cost of the room. There's a lot of things that we need to make sure when they check in, they've got to make sure that they feel safe. And I'm hearing a lot of horror stories right now on Facebook and others about rooms that are not properly cleaned. So protocols and training staff really in making sure that the rooms are safe, because if you just get one guest who gets contaminated as a result of staying in your hotel, that can spell the difference between your next booking or forget about your future bookings in the next 6 months until you're able to erase that from the thoughts of your guests. So those are some ideas that you may want to play around with. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prof. Christina. So can I get some input from Dr. Dino?
Okay, thank you, Dr. Mandy. Thank you. Forum Division Group, nice presentation, and maybe this is my input as follow. Yeah, that you mentioned that currently many hotels also already use the guest experience tools to serve all the needs of the guests. Especially in the Marriott, we use the GXP system, the guest experience system. So we will monitor the guests starting from the pre-arrival, and also the time of check-in, and all guest requests will be recorded and review how long it had been followed up by the team. And we have to make sure that room cleaning protocol also use this disinfectant, and room can be solved after 24 hours from the previous guest checkout. Another thing is maybe we can make sure that room preventive management also carry out. So the rooms are always ready to be solved, to be solved. And also the hygiene tools in the room, such as we have to add another amenities in the room right now, such as the face mask, disinfectant tissue, and the front desk using also the sneeze guard to protect from the guest contact. And also staff will check the guest body temperature when the guest coming to the hotel, and also make sure that all the disinfectant already installed in the area of the hotel. And also we have to clean all the guest area every 2 hours to make sure that our hotel is clean, and we have to commitment to clean for our guests. I think this is the input for the group number 4. Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Candy.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Dino. So some add-on from Prof. Arif.
Thank you, Dr. Candy. Nice to hear and listen about the rooms management operation. Yeah. Okay. Nice presentations, but some of the idea I will explain. Yeah, regarding I heard about the prepare the disinfection facility limited customer. You mentioned already staff health management training and also set up the SOP and prevention program. Yeah, the additional and suggestion is the apply technology aspect that you have to prepare, because each of the guests we should data and also issue the health declarations. Yeah, and also we will get a recording to all of the guests. The second one is we will concern about the housekeeping management. There will be new SOP, as Dr. Dino mentioned about the Marriott way. Yeah, many new SOP regarding the rooms, regarding the check-ins. No need key, or no need to sign, or you have to one guest and one pen. No need pen anymore. And last one is the emergency committee. So all the organizations should be ready for the worst cases, because one person should be in charge for the PR spokespersons, because this is very crucial issues. If we receive or the suspect COVID coming to our hotels, there will be big issue for our brand and also for our hotels. That's it from me. Thank you, Dr. Kandi.
Thank you.
Good luck for all of you.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. And this time we put Mr. Bobby at the last.
Okay. What do you call that? For all the people, for all the students that are presenting, one of the best books for hospitality to read is from Marriott, and I'm sure what do you call that? Dr. Dino will agree with it. I read it 28 years ago, even before reading Four Seasons and Ritz-Carlton. But I read that Spirit to Serve, and when they were talking about, it's all about, they have a 1-800 number for finance, 1-800 number for like family, if you have any problems with the family. But it was always about taking care about employees. I remember in the book, it said there was one GM that he was so good in making revenue and finances, but all the staff were very nervous. They were also nervous to work for him. And you know what Bill Marriott did is he got rid of that general manager, because he said, our culture is about family, about taking care of each other. And 28 years ago, I said, what a great group. And all of a sudden, it's the best group in the world right now. I mean, it's the biggest. So it's amazing. So everybody remember that book, Spirit to Serve. For group number 5, rooms operations, it was a great presentation. I felt like it was, everything you put in there was like an SOP and a PNP. So I took pictures of it. So at least now I have a policies and procedures for room operations. We all know before, many years ago, we always say the sales team was the top guns, and then operations for FO, for housekeeping, for all of these departments were the rock stars. And the back office, the finance and the back office people were the superstars. They were the superstars. The front office were the rock stars. But guess what? We're talking about rooms operation right now. For me, the FO people dealing with COVID and the housekeeping people, they're the modern heroes of the hospitality industry. Housekeeping people are number one for me. For them to be cleaning those rooms with positive patients of COVID, these people are amazing. And so It will all change for me. Housekeeping will all change in the front office. How you interact with guests. They have the barriers, and in housekeeping, before an MUR was 15 minutes, a checkout room was 30 minutes. Now that's all going to change. You might be cleaning the rooms 2-3 times a week. You might be doing calling the guests to say if they have any garbage to put out. You don't want to go into the rooms. I doubt that housekeeping people will go into the rooms now and clean. They will wait until the guest leaves. So I think the dynamics will change in that respect. HEPA filters will be big. The chemicals that are used in the rooms, the COVID kits that you put, the mask and the alcohol gels and all of that. So that will all change. And so you know what we do now in our hotels, because everybody's wearing a face mask and we want to look at those wonderful people in front office and in housekeeping. We're putting pins now of the staff with their smiling faces. It's the staff smiling faces, but on the pin. So you don't see it in the face mask. But good job. Well done, group number 5. Thank you.
Thank you. I think we really had a very interesting discussion, despite only the time. So I will pass it to one of our students, Amna, to do the synthesis, the summary of it, today's session.
Thank you, Dr. Candy. I would like to start off with thanking all the panel members and all my fellow students for this lovely webinar. Starting off with Hotel 1, the Clouds Inn, they started off with F&B and how the trends post-COVID and during COVID and before COVID have affected the F&B market and how things are. They mentioned very important points, that how people have started ordering in, and takeaway trend has become way more common than before. And excuse me, people prefer to actually order in rather than going out now because of the whole safety reasons. And the suggestions they made were quite prevalent, as agreed by everyone on the panel as well. Now, moving on to Hotel 2, their focus was on marketing. And regarding marketing, they mentioned that occupancies in different hotels have dropped drastically. And hotels that used to have 70% or 80% occupancy even dropped down to 10, 20%. And now post-pandemic, hotels are focusing on regional marketing. They are focusing on families, and they're giving packages like they're combining with flights, different airlines, and they're giving packages to the locals, and they're focusing towards it, their local market of their countries. Also, they have increased more involvement with OTA by offering different discounts and coupons so that people are encouraged to come and do local tourism at least. They have also mentioned about conquering the conference market, like the corporate side of the tourism or hospitality industry. And lastly, they talked about social media, how marketing on social media has eliminated the fear amongst people of traveling. So social media platforms like Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, Twitter, all these big hotel chains are utilizing these. Now, moving on to Hotel 3, their topic was HR. Currently, they spoke about the workforce challenges faced in the industry and how the industry is relying on part-timers and seasonal workers, and the turnover rate is really high. So the reasons they gave for high turnover is hotel operating costs have increased, which impacts the hotel's image, and it also reduces the quality of service, and it gives a low staff morale. So in order to avoid high turnover, they suggested that when you're doing hiring, you make sure that you're hiring the right person for the right job, which will also improve training costs, because if you're hiring the right person, you don't have to spend as much on training as you would spend when you hire a person who is not familiar to what they're working in. They also talked about paying attention to engagement amongst your employees, and you prioritize their happiness so that they are happy where they're working. And once your employees are happy, they will automatically perform better. They also talked about development and growth amongst your employees and how you can keep encouraging your employees during this pandemic period so that they don't have low morale, and you provide for them because they are your workers, and just because of the pandemic you don't leave them behind. You give them incentives to be more excited to work during this period. Now, Hotel 4 spoke about channel management. They were linking it to the game, the simulation game, which we studied in this certain module. They divided it into 4 quarters, starting off with the first quarter of channel management process. They talked about referring to channel demand of last year in order to see what to do for your hotel in the coming year. They spoke about adopting a rate priority strategy, which guarantees occupancy rate increase. In the second quarter, they spoke about differentiation strategy and how market share of data and channel management works, and how you can use OTA to promote sales for your hotel. In the third quarter, they spoke about low price and high price occupancy strategy. Lastly, in the fourth quarter, they mentioned how different channels, you should use different techniques through for your hotel, and then adjust the channel management accordingly. And they concluded it by mentioning that you have to pay close attention to market trends and competitors amongst wherever your hotel is located. And you should have a holistic view overall towards when it comes to channel management. Last but not the least, room operation management by the Star Hotel, which is hotel number 5. They mentioned how this is one of the most affected departments in the hotels, which is room operation department, as they are directly dealing with COVID-19 guests, people who are positive for COVID-19, and they're staying in their respective hotel properties. So they have mentioned how use of electric medium for room service to provide assistance, that can also reduce manpower. So you're using electrical mediums, for example, like Intercontinental, as mentioned by hotel number 5. And then secondly, they also mentioned how use of digitalization in hotels will further enhance the online economy. Hotels should improve their crisis management skills, provide new and improved takeaway services, and be more careful when it comes to hygiene purposes and their staff's health, and how if they're following the SOPs or not. So especially for departments like room management, they have to be really careful when it comes to this. And the suggestions, the highlighted suggestions they provided are that hotels need to be very careful with disinfection amongst the staff or the properties or the hotel itself. They have to promote staff health management. They have to keep encouraging their staff to take care of themselves because they are directly dealing with the customers. And also to promote prevention and personal hygiene overall amongst the hotel staff. Thank you.
Okay, that was a very extensive synthesis summary by our student, Amna. Thank you so much for giving I think it was a very good summary, and it gives a very good brief report. So let's quickly go to this. Is a time for feedback. So I think I already shared the link. Okay, those who don't have a link, if you want to prefer QR code, so you can see the screen, scan the QR code using your mobile phone, smart cameras, and just quickly, it's going to be only 2 words. I think it is very easy. So before we move to the next part of it, just bear with us another few minutes, then let's see what kind of feedback we are getting. Okay, so I think just creating the word cloud. So we are seeing how the people are giving the feedback. I think 13 people have given. So I think the big bubbles indicates the big channel information today. Like what we talk about channel management, here's the knowledge management. I think in this webinar, I think one of the things, the students had a very good eye-opening because we have a very good panel members. I think some, they said useful, professional, yeah, good impression, informative, be inspired, service, and interesting, knowledgeable, strategy, worthy, creativity, engaging, great, enlightened, very useful, trendy. So I think I can see a lot of positive feedback. I think this all happened because of the great speakers today we have, the great jury who has really given their own experience and insight after every presentation. And they have spent almost more than, going to be 3 hours in a short while. I think after 20 minutes, it will be 3 hours of time, which is highly appreciated. To be honest, I don't have words to express my gratitude, but it's a big gratitude to Prof. Tina and Prof. Harif for bringing me and connecting me to these two great industry experts, personality, Mr. Bobby and Dr. Dino. So on behalf of school again, and also my students, I would like to thank you all. So now the new words are popping up, great, fantastic. Yeah, so change. Yeah, change is consistent, constant. Always we need a change. So, okay, thank you so much for all the feedback from the students. Let's go back to our slides. Yeah. So before I move to the next slide, can I ask the panel juries, okay, the jury, can you say maybe 2 words to our students, just 2 words? Okay, so maybe this time we will start with ladies first, according to our hospitality logo, our service logo, Prof. Christina.
2 words.
2 words, yeah.
Okay, theory and practice.
Okay, thank you. So can I have Dr. Dino?
2 words. Awesome collaboration.
Okay, awesome collaboration. Okay, what about now we will put again industry person, Mr. Bobby.
Hard work.
Okay. Hard work, is it? Okay, so 1 word. Okay, so Prof. Arif.
Operations perspective.
Okay, operational perspective. Okay. Okay, if you ask, yeah, I think for me, from my side, 2 words is networking and collaboration. That is where these two definitely need a human touch. That's our industry, right? This is 1, 2 things for me, according to me, even the other speakers said, these 2 things or few things told by 2 words. These are the some things which the technology cannot do. This is where always the human has a value. Okay, this is where we are competing with the technology. So that's what we call human augmentation era. We are moving to Industry Revolution 5.0, which is a human augmentation. As a human, now we are going to make sure the technology is working for you. You are not working for the technology. Okay, so let's come to the final thing is I request everybody to open their camera to take a virtual photography session. So which stands as a memory in my book, one of the page in my book chapter, whether in social media or in a physical book. Okay, give me a few seconds. Everybody's opening the cameras. Okay. Still we are waiting for 2 more. Are you there? Yeah. Make sure show your face, everybody, clearly. We would like to see your smiling face, not the ceiling. Is there one is Amana extra? Okay. Is there anyone left? 1 more empty. Okay. So are you all ready? Show your face clearly. Huh? Make sure your full face is covered. I will count 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we go. 1. Keep the hospitality smile. Huh? 2, 3. Okay, 1 more. 1. Thumbs up. Maybe yes, that's great. So I need to take a camera, so I will put my virtual thumbs up. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, thank you so much. I again would like to thank our panel members for sparing their valuable time. Maybe can I ask 1 or 2 students to say a few words, any feedback or anything you would like to share? Anybody would like to share or ask any question? Whether Mr. Bobby is going to, he said he's going to hire you. So how to approach him? Nobody's asking.
LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I want to know LinkedIn.
Okay, Mr. Dino, if you want to work for Marriott. Yeah. So it's not only they have a province within, I think all the industry experts, they always have a very good wider network.
Dr. Candy, can I say some statement?
Yes, please, please.
Yeah, all students, business hotel management, and also Pak Dino, we have a new collaborations to send our students to Pak Dino hotels, and also we will have like a photo and video competition. So in these sessions, I would like to ask all of you, all the students, to join this competition. So this is like the BINUS and also Taylor University collaborations. Is it okay, Pak Dino?
Yes, sure, sure.
You want to say something, Pak Dino, about the competition?
Yeah, actually the competition is between the BINUS University and us as the Association of Indonesian Hotel General Manager. We want to brand the destination in Indonesia like Belitung, Bali, and etc. Doing due to this pandemic situation. I think that Pak Arif mentioned, is it possible if we also make collaboration with Taylor University to invite the student to join with our competition? Thank you, Dr. Kedi, Dr. Arif.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Arif and Dr. Dino for sharing that information. Taylors always love to collaborate, and we always say okay when there is an opportunity for our students to learn something new and to engage something new. So yeah, so thank you so much, everybody, students. The jury, can I request you to stay for just 2-3 minutes, just to confirm something with you all regarding the presentation. Students, if you have nothing to say, thank you so much for your presentation. Everybody have done a very good job.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
I think, thank you so much. I will text you to the group leaders regarding our next week class. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks. Thank you so much. Okay, just give me 1 minute. I think students are leaving. Okay, I request the students to leave the session. Prof. Christina also left, I think. I'm just removing some of them. So I think maybe, I don't know whether Prof. Christina accidentally left or maybe can I call her? Give me a minute.
Sure.
Yeah. And also, Prof. Arif, Dr. Dino left, right?
Yeah, already.
Yeah, it's okay now. No, I thought just to take a picture, I just want to ask which group have done a very good presentation, according to your opinion. Yeah, I think Prof. Christina is calling. Hello, Prof. Christina, sorry. Yeah. Yeah, I thought I just asked the jury to stay for 2 minutes. Possible to join just for 2 minutes? Thank you. Yeah, Prof. Christina is joining now. Just give me, just to get some feedback, just maybe take 2-3 minutes. I think. Sorry, Mr. Bobby and Dr. Prof. Arif for.
Okay, no problem.
Because this is the first time I'm moving to the.
Okay, it's a Saturday.
Yeah, no, this is the first time I'm doing the borderless assessment for the students virtually. I think in the virtual, one of the biggest challenges is always time management, especially in the webinars and everything. So I think.
Dr. Candy, I spoke to the head of Indonesian School of Hospitality. Maybe we will create this model to enrichment the assignment for the students. I think because last week I did I give some perspective in research for the Doctor of Research Management in Binus University. They need our input. They need our perspective as an industrial background. But Pak Bobby and Candy, I think I will create a program, and also Prof. Tina to join with Binus University. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's great. Thank you. Prof. Tina, just I was asking the panels just to give a very quick feedback on among the 5 group, which group has done a very good job.
Oh my goodness! You should have given us advance notice, because then we would have put up grades. Let me see.
No, just a very quick. Yeah.
I think I like the channel management group. Yeah, that was a good one.
Okay, because something they shared from their own experience.
Yeah.
Okay, so what about Prof. Arif and Mr. Bobby?
Channel management for me.
Okay, so maybe number 2, you prefer F&B, the one started first group, or maybe marketing, or the one on HR, or the last group?
You know, many of the groups actually did not really focus on post-COVID. They were still in the normal, in the pre-COVID days, because a lot of changes now are happening in operations in F&B, whether it's in F&B or in housekeeping, etc. But I think what needs to be done is to further let the students work on the paper, so that they can focus, because they had a lengthy presentation on what was it before, but the presentation on the post was not as intense, because there's got to be a lot of considerations now that you're going to be doing to make sure that you address certain areas that are issues now for many of the customers into.
Agree.
Maybe I can say the hotel too, they have really put the case study, Atlantic Hotel, the real scenario. Maybe can be number 2 on your opinion. What do you think? The marketing one?
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Yeah. Prof. Arif?
Yeah, marketing, I agree.
Yeah, because they really took an effort to make a chart, data, and went into one particular hotel. Yeah, they have really shown what happened in COVID and what moved forward.
They present the real data.
Yeah.
Correct.
Oh, the back office, the back of the house, people are winning over the front of house.
that is the pattern.
Be upset. The superstars won.
They are the superstars.
The superstars won today.
Correct. Yeah, I agree, because now the back end is become the superstars,
Yeah.
mega
Yeah.
stars. Yeah.
Yeah. They're the ones who are going to create magic. They're the ones who are going to be.
Yeah.
They won't. You won't see them, but their work is actually going to impact on future customers. How
Correct.
they. Yeah.
Correct. I agree.
Yeah.
Maybe
All the business will be coming through them, marketing and channel management.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
housekeeping and front office, they're all the heroes. They're the ones working hard and have to deal with the guest.
Yeah, that's to be honest. Okay, so maybe the rank 3, maybe I can give it to hotel, the F&B, because just for they're confident in the presentation, or maybe like, because the HR also, they are talking more on general, not very focused on the pandemic.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agree.
Yeah.
The F&B is the first group, is it?
Yeah,
correct?
the first group. Yes, correct.
Or Rishabh, yeah. Okay. Okay, agree.
And what about the last group, the hotel, the housekeeping? Can we give? Okay, when I ask housekeeping and HR, which one you say better?
HR better?
They were talking about turnovers, but they didn't work on how. They didn't have enough discussion on how they should retain
How to
people
handle.
now. Yeah.
Correct.
So maybe HR 5th?
Yeah, housekeeping was good because you
housekeeping
saw a lot of the processes, Bobby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like a
room operation.
policy and procedure. Right?
Yeah. What do they get, Dr. Candy? Do they get the best grade, number 1?
Okay, so this is the module which I'm teaching, which is called Hospitality Simulation and Exercise. So
Yeah.
I'm using the software of our Russell Peters hotel management software.
Yeah.
So all these 5 hotels are different, 5 groups are different hotels. So we have a simulated world software which they play and position their hotel for 1 year. So like 12 rounds they play. So I take a pit stop in 3rd round, after 3rd round, and after 6th round and 12th round. So based on the hotel performance, they have around 50% of mark. And apart from that, they do have a presentation, based on their, they have next week 1 presentation, final presentation. And this one, last time we used to have two presentation, operation and non-operation. But I thought too many presentation, why not we turn into a discussion, bring the industry people, bring the overseas people, let them present to them. Let's move them from the comfort zone. Let them put them into the fear and learning zone, so that they can have the growth of attitude and capabilities. Yeah, because always presenting to the same lecturer, it's already comfort zone, right? So they're already very comfort. And I think I have to really, recent days, I can say last 3 to 4 years, I'm giving more importance on the borderless. I started in way back 2014-15 onwards, borderless learning. So I thought now, because of pandemic, everybody started talking about borderless learning. So I thought to move to assessment, borderless assessment. Okay. So that's how I started moving, because last time I did with the hotel, we did a mystery experience project. So students go to the industry, they do the mystery shopper experience in the dining and room. And after 2-3 weeks, they go back to the hotel and present to the management team. So that's physically, I moved the comfort zone from the campus. I turned the industry space into a learning space. And but virtually we cannot take them. So I created this webinar.
Okay.
So yeah,
And it worked out well. Congratulations.
Yeah,
congratulations then, Dr. Candy.
Thank you.
It's nice to be in nice to be in the panel with you as well, Arif and Bobby and Dino.
Okay.
Dino, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all happened. It's become fruitful because of your great support and contribution inside. I think Prof. Tina, since the pandemic, we have been working so much closely. And also we started with Binus also. Yeah. So thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Looking forward to see you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bobby. Thank you, Prof. Tina.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Candy.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye.